I'm recording this at night time, so I'm going to be a little bit more quiet, but I think that kind of adds to the eerie atmosphere which we're going to create here. Well, everyone knows Herobrine. People have seen the Herobrine mod, and they've seen the legends and the creepypasta itself. But the original creepypasta was set in a specific world where it was shrouded in fog, and there was Herobrine which emerged from the fog in the distance, which was a really creepy image. They've actually figured out the original seed for the Herobrine world from the creepypasta. We're actually on an extremely old version of Minecraft. This is on the alpha release, and I thought this would be a pretty chilling video to actually produce at night time. So as you can see, we're actually on the seed right here, and you may have noticed I might just put a picture on screen. This is the original hill that they had from the creepypasta itself. So Herobrine was somewhere here in the distance, just sat upon the hill, and this is the OG world where everything happened and took part in. So we're just going to kind of run around and play a bit and see if anything creepy happens, okay? And this isn't going to be a fake video where I just hide some mods in and then lie to you and some things happen. No, let's actually check out the seed and just see how it is all by itself. This is the original Herobrine seed, so this is going to be pretty trippy. I'm sure everyone knows what alpha's like by now. This is actually when I started playing the game back in dev and alpha, which was the extremely early versions of Minecraft. One thing you may have realized when we dropped in the world is a few of these trees you might not be able to notice right now, but a few of the trees, the leaves were actually automatically disappearing, okay, these green leaves. So that's actually a pretty creepy thing which I noticed as soon as I dropped in the world. Obviously all the blocks are a little bit more different in the older version, okay? The fog performs a little bit different, and a lot of the features obviously are not the same as the new modern version. So this is the original seed. So as you can see, this tree is completely degrading, even though we haven't destroyed all the wood blocks, which is another interesting feature, which probably shouldn't be happening right now. And the original inventory key was the I key, which is also extremely interesting, and shift clicking doesn't really seem to do its job that it usually does. So I've spawned here with 2 Minecraft pickaxes, which are wooden, and I've spawned here with a crafting bench. So let's just go ahead, and everything's the same, the recipes are basically the same, but the controls inside the crafting grid are not very good. So let's just make ourselves some enhanced tools and give ourselves a pickaxe and an axe. Boom. Okay, so let's just explore, right? So this is the original Herobrine world. So this is an iconic memory which is frozen in time. And this is where he stood. He was stood on this mountain. He was looking down at the player in the exact coordinates that I spawned in. Now, I'm not sure if it was during the daytime. I think it was actually during the day too. So that makes it even more iconic. Now, if we look around, we don't have any kind of zoom key, and we can't see any strange clues. There doesn't seem to be Herobrine hiding anyway, so I don't think we can see him anywhere or find him anywhere, which is good. So there's no kind of clues or anything which seems to be happening right now, which is a good sign. Now, one thing though that is happening is down here, if we go down to the sand, which looks astronomically different, we just had a cow here that was in the water and he just vanished. So that's another organically creepy thing which has just happened naturally, which I haven't done. I haven't edited anything, so that's actually pretty weird. So the leaves have disappeared. There's been vanishing cows which have reappeared or respawned. I don't know, maybe the spawn system's just really dodgy. So to sprint on the classic version, I don't even think we can. We can't even crouch on this version. It's extremely early. And they have the old combat style, okay? Pig drops 2 pork chops, and there's no eating animation. You just chomp it straight down and it just disappears. So it's pretty funny. Now you can see the world actually looks really nice, and the world generation's actually pretty surprisingly impressive. Now everything's extremely vibrant, and the gamma's turned up, so everything's just bleached green. This is typical alpha. If you've not seen the oldest versions of Minecraft, which is alpha, this is typically how it appears. So we've had some creepy things happening, but the only creepy things really are just these pigs. I mean, look at them, these are the OG pigs, and when you hit them they have this kind of bounce. They just kind of jump forwards because there's no real animations in this version of the game. So everything's just that little bit clunky, and the generation's really weird too because you have like top layer grass blocks merging with sand, but it's a lot nicer of a shade, so they blend together a lot nicer. Okay, oh, we have a sheep down here. This is another interesting feature of the old version, which isn't in the new one. If you attack a sheep, it will usually just kill the sheep, right? But in this version, if you hit it once, since I believe there's no shears at this point in the game, so the only way to get wool is actually by killing a sheep, or in this case, if we hit it once with a wood sword, it actually automatically shears it. So as you can see, they actually added the shears a little bit later, which is something which I needed to remember because my mind is rejogging itself right now. What about chickens? Okay, chickens have a really weird hitbox, so you have to hit them directly. And cows, okay, cows are the same, but they don't seem to drop beef. They just drop leather, which is interesting. And one other thing about this version, the so-called Herobrine seed or Herobrine version, when we actually mouse over an item, and you can see it says Alpha 1016, it doesn't actually show us the display of any of the item names, so that's kind of really dodgy. If we look up at the sky is kind of weird because it does move, but it's a really weird set of voxels and triangles, so it's like a set of rectangular boxes which are fully 3D, and they have small triangles which rotate, so the way that the clouds appear and move are a little bit inorganic and not very impressive at all. You can see that the game has come a long way, especially in this Java version. Comparing this to Sonic Other shaders and the new graphics, you just wonder in what world was this the actual original version. Now we can't actually go pan from the skies and actually find anything right here because we are actually in survival mode, and I'm not even sure if creative mode is even added in this version of the alpha. I believe it wasn't even added to the game yet, so this is actually pretty creepy. Now I can't hear any sound right now because I have headphones in. Exploring this world is actually pretty chilling because you kind of expect from little nooks and crannies for Herobrine to appear, or maybe you see him in the fog in the distance, but we haven't noticed anything creepy at all. So obviously, I guess from this video we have completely debunked the Herobrine mystery because he hasn't appeared. We have had a few creepy, strange happenings that have actually blessed us as we've actually been playing this world, but nothing strange has really happened, nothing too abnormal. Some out of the norm things have happened, but nothing too much that questions whether Herobrine's real. Now maybe if we actually went underground and actually started mining, that would be a different story. We can't really see anything. There is some graphical errors, I'm not sure if you can see them, but if you pan your camera, you can see some white lines in the corner where the blocks actually meet, which is extremely hard to see. You might not be able to see them, it's basically on the edges of the blocks, which might actually make your eyes play tricks on you. So if you're mining underground, you may actually think that you are seeing Herobrine or something moving, whereas it's just graphical errors because this is a very early version of the game in the engine, which is pretty buggy. But this seems to be the first night because we have the nighttime rotation happening right now, so everything's getting a little bit more dark. And it's interesting because everything in the daytime is extremely vibrant, but when it gets dark on this version, it completely dullifies everything. Now that's not really a word, but it makes everything look super dull, and you can see the dark lighting is completely different to how it is. And if we go on difficulty, it's normal. Now I do believe the original Herobrine story is that he had the seed on peaceful mode and then he actually saw Herobrine in the distance, which made it even the more creepier because there should be no mobs that spawn on peaceful mode, right? Or at least only the friendly mobs, I believe. So it would be really strange to actually encounter him. Now we've gone super far away from the spawn point, but you kind of get the idea with this Herobrine seed. I'm just going to show you a little bit of the nighttime here just to show you the seed in action when it actually gets to night. But this is the original seed, okay? And you can see there are actually monsters in this version. So if we play a normal mode, you can see there's creepers, which are a little bit trigger happy. They do tend to explode a little bit earlier than they usually do, so we need to be all the more careful with those. But the beach is absolutely swarmed by creepers and zombies. So how different are zombies? So zombies are extremely slow, and they take multiple hits to kill. They're actually pretty tanky. I do like the death animation or how you hit them back a lot more in this version. But skeletons seem to be a little bit less dangerous. They don't really seem to hit as easy, but the loading times are extremely nice. And also on the flip side, you get crashes, which I guess at the end of our session is the pure proof that Herobrine is actually in the world because his minions killed us and he crashed the game. So this has been a little bit of a different experience, but I thought it would be quite interesting because I read on the web that they have uncovered the original Herobrine seed. So playing it and just experiencing it for ourselves many years later after it was released, it's a weird experience which you don't really get to play every single day. So let me know what you guys thought about this experience, a little bit of chilling, late night Fortnite experience with a little less loud and energetic commentary, but more of a quiet and calm experience that's a little bit more tense and creepy. Let me know if you enjoy this kind of video, because I am thinking about doing a little bit of a creepy themed cryptids and cryptozoology video merged with Minecraft, in the style of my old cryptids videos, which a lot of people may be familiar with. So make sure to give the video a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time for the next normal Minecraft video.
I be the show, make a room, shaking it down. I be the with a high profile. Everybody come on, we be the shakers with a crazy style, showing everybody how to enjoy a crazy wild. One time rocking to the sound, chilling women everywhere. I be the big down, swing at a hospital, super chick.
Baby, come on, you better rock with me. I be the hot shot player from nowhere to my